Hey guys, welcome to another episode from Stacey Here We Grow Again. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're going to go over some succulents that I got the other day. So this is some soil I mixed up. It is succulent cacti mix from Miracle Grow, along with 1 part of my burpee mix and 1 part of my perlite. So 2 parts succulent soil, 1 part burpee, and 1 part perlite. Now this succulent soil, sometimes a lot of people have a question about this. There are little beads in here that are just fertilizer. They are fertilizer beads. So you want to leave them in there. They're little yellow guys. And you don't want to squish them. You just want to leave them in there. They're fertilizer that's going to release fertilizer for the next 3 months. Now these big wood chips are in my succulent soil, so I like to remove those a lot of the time, especially with smaller succulents, sensitive succulents, because I just feel like if you're pushing that soil down, you can damage the roots if that goes and tears through the root system. And this is my burpee mix. It's mostly sphagnum moss and peat moss, so it works really good with that succulent mix. That's basically what's in your succulent mix anyway, with a lot of sand. And then we get the 16-pound bag of perlite right here, which is pretty big, and we get this because, you know, it's just so much better for big level gardening. We plant a lot of things here, and it works really good to, you know, save me money on a budget. We don't have a lot of money, so I like to use the best soil possible on a bigger scale, because when you buy on a bigger scale, it's just a lot better. It's cheaper. And I got that for about 16 bucks. This is a little Echeveria neon breaker I got the other day. Check her out. She's nice and healthy, nice and plump. You want to feel these leaves. You just don't want to touch this one too much because it has that coating. And I don't water my succulents when I first bring them home. I acclimate them in the sun. I start them off with 4 hours each day for the first day. For each succulent, I should say. This is a Mexican sedum. I love it. It's so lovely. And I'm going to put this little Echeveria in with it. Look at the green in here. It's going to turn deep purple in full sun. So that's going to look gorgeous together. And it really needs a big pot. So I really thought these would look great together. I've got to prop him up over there. But they're just going to fill out this pot really well and look great together. So I can't wait to do that. I don't want to do this in this video with you guys just because I don't want to break these little needles off anymore. You can see how many actually come off when you touch them. So every time you touch it or bump into it, they fall because they propagate like crazy. These are little sedums. I love their little babies that they shoot out. And we have a Sempervivum cobweb hen and chick. Didn't transplant her yet. And then I start off, so let me go by acclimating. I start off with 4 hours of direct sun for all my succulents, and then I increase 2 hours each day from there on. Made a little arrangement out of some Echeveria sedums I had, and this is a burro's tail. So how I transplanted all these succulents, I will show you with this one, but I just want to show you that I showcased this little burro's tail by itself because it was pretty big, and you can see how they shoot off side growth. And they're going to trail over this pot. Check that out online. And this little stuff, if you see that, it was just bumped. So don't worry about that too much. As long as it's not all over and it's not mushy, you're good to go. This is a little thimble cactus. I love this little thing. Look at it. It was so hard to transplant, guys. But these little thimble things shoot off growth like crazy. They flower. She's already flowering for me. And all these new little flowers are going to start pushing out. So when she does flower a lot, I'll show you guys. I love them. I bumped into her. But these little things are going to end up coming off eventually. You know, they will fall off as you bump. So look how many we got. It's already growing roots because it was in the pot. And we're going to just keep these on the counter for a good day or so, along with these other burritos and sedums, because they need to clouse for a few days before we go ahead and pot them up. And I'm just going to take a nice little container and make an arrangement out of it. Why not? I'll probably use this pot that the hen and chick is in. And then for transplanting your succulents, you want to water beforehand. But honestly, if you already have succulents that you're growing and you need to transplant them, I usually water beforehand. And then let that soil dry out completely before you go ahead and transplant. Because what that's going to do is just make sure you're not rotting your succulent out. Because they tend to get root rot if you're damaging them roots and you have a nice wet root system on there. well, guess what? You're exposing that root to water and stuff like that, and these guys just don't like that. So let these ends callus. Now, when I bring my succulents home, I acclimate them, and when I'm acclimating them, I always treat with neem oil because one, you're using new soil that you're getting from the store, sitting who knows where next to who knows what, and getting who knows what type of bug infestations, what type of eggs might be in here, fungus, whatever, you know. So I always treat with my neem oil beforehand. Just disregard any leaves, put them off to the side for now, and we'll propagate those. And instead of moving your soil around and trying to stuff it in there, always backfill. So always add new soil as you're planting. And I'm going to leave these 3 donkey tail burrito donkey tails in here to grow. And that's it. That's how you transplant. Now, I won't water this. When I ever bring a succulent home, I don't water. After I transplant, if it's in the hot heat of the summer, I'm going to need to water after 3 days. But if it's only, you know, the winter time and I have cool, damp climate and it's wet, you know, out there's a lot of moisture in the air, it's raining, well, I won't water for a good week after I do this because one, you're pushing down roots, you can expose them, damage them, and 2, you know, they're just nice and plump already. You should be getting nice plump succulents that are healthy, that, you know, they don't need water. You go ahead and water. Think of your succulents like a balloon. When I started doing that, you know, that balloon's full. You go ahead and put water on that balloon, it's going to explode, right? So just remember that, and if your succulents look healthy, check back on them in a few days, and if they need some water, give them some water. You're not going to have to water so much in the winter time. You can definitely push your succulents in a big arrangement together. So this is going to fill out this pot pretty good, and I'm not going to need to worry about overwatering too much because I have a really nice root system in this pot that's taking over pretty much half the pot once I get that echeveria in there. So I don't have to worry about too much water all the time because there's so much roots in there that those roots are going to dry out that soil a lot faster than something like this that has those little roots on it in a big pot like this. So you're going to need to give this sparingly water, like water halfway through until it's a few weeks down the road, a month down the road, and you know those roots are nice and big, and then you can start soaking those all the way through for tiny root systems. You want to be careful with that, and remember, you know, if you have a nice established succulent, water all the way through. Like this one, you would water all the way through and wait for that soil to dry out in between waterings. Let it stay dry for a little bit, and I usually let mine stay dry for about a week between waterings, and I'm good to go. They're great to grow, guys. I hope you get some of your own and enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on transplanting, acclimating, type of succulents you might have that aren't happy, just let me know. I have an email that I always link below in my description to get in touch with me. Send me a pic. Let me know what you're doing. And remember to visit my Facebook page. We created a Facebook page so everybody can share what they're growing. I want to see your garden. Definitely. I love keeping in touch with you guys. Thank you so much for all the new people that are joining us. I hope to show you and teach you so much that you don't already know. If there is any requests from any of you on videos you'd like to see from my garden, on stuff I'm growing, please let me know. A lot more here to come. From Stacey, here we grow again. See you next time.